So let's talk about Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United and Martin Ordegaard of Arsenal. And this is a post that somebody made. If Bruno Fernandes was Arsenal's number 10 instead of Martin Ordegaard over the last few seasons, Arsenal would have won the Premier League title on at least one occasion and will presently be at least 12 points clear at the top of the table. What class versus average? Now, according to this post, Bruno Fernandes is the world-class player here, and of course, Martin Ordegaard is the average player. And I think this is a thought that so many people will also have in their head right now, including you that is watching this video. Some people will think that if you put Bruno Fernandes into this Arsenal team right now, they should have won at least one Premier League title based on his output and performance, because it looks like he has better numbers than Martin Ordegaard. I don't know what you think about this. Do you agree with this or do you disagree? But before we get into the reactions, let's take a look at the statistics behind this. Since Martin Ordegaard joined Arsenal in the Premier League, and of course, since Bruno Fernandes joined Manchester United, that was in the half season of 2019-2020 season, let's check out what the output is looking like in terms of the numbers. Now, first of all, let's start with Martin Ordegaard of Arsenal. And in the last 3 seasons, including this season that we are in right now, Martin Ordegaard in 2023-2024 season, that's the last 2 seasons, Martin Ordegaard scored 8 goals and had 10 assists in 35 games for Arsenal in the Premier League. And this is only for the Premier League. And in last season, he had 3 goals and 8 assists in 30 appearances. While this season, Martin Ordegaard has scored only 1 goal and 3 assists in the Premier League right there. And if you take a look at Bruno Fernandes in the last 3 seasons, he has scored, okay, let's say 2023-2024 season, he scored 10 goals and made 8 assists in 35 appearances. And last season, Bruno Fernandes had 8 goals and 10 assists in the Premier League. And this season already, he has scored 5 goals and 10 assists, which is the most in the Premier League right now. But overall, since Martin Ordegaard joined Arsenal in the Premier League, he has scored 35 goals and made 36 assists in 169 appearances, compared to Bruno Fernandes, who has played 215 matches in the Premier League with 67 goals and 61 assists right there. So based on their output, it feels like Bruno Fernandes is somehow having a better output to Martin Ordegaard. And if you put that same output into Arsenal team in the last couple of seasons based on what they've been doing, maybe that is where this particular argument is coming from, that Arsenal should have won the Premier League at least 1 or 2 times if Bruno Fernandes was to be in their team. Now, let's really take a look at the reactions of certain persons to this particular post. According to Zeis Peter, he wrote, "Then let him win the league for United, since only him can make a team. Was Bruno not there when Tottenham Hotspur snatched UEFA Europa League from Manchester United last season?" And of course, he's talking about Bruno Fernandes, that, football is a game of collectives and not just an individual. Because if it is for individual, then Bruno Fernandes should have also done the same thing for Manchester United. All right, moving on. Abdurrahman Jallo, he wrote, "Ha ha 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 ha. Let him qualify Manchester United to Champions League first before helping us now to win the Premier League." I think Manchester United are on the right track right now, actually, to make it to the UEFA Champions League at the end of the season. And according to Queen Rush, she wrote, "Bruno would have added creativity and leadership, no doubt. But winning the Premier League is about the whole system, not one player." Let's take some more reactions, like 7 of them. And according to this particular person, Blessing, he wrote, "Bruno shit himself versus Tottenham Hotspur in the UEFA Europa League finals. Was terrible versus VRL in another UEFA Europa League final. Was crap versus City in FA Cup, which gave them a treble. Lost the ball 40 times over 2 legs versus Atletico Madrid. Yet somehow he keeps getting world-class shouts." This person is visibly angry, trying to say that Bruno Fernandes is not really world-class. But somebody actually tackled this person under this particular response, saying you cannot judge a player by just a game or 2. Maybe players actually have the bad games. But let's move on. According to this person, he wrote, "This is so apt. Bruno Fernandes brings a whole lot to any team. Not just assists, but he scores goals. Enough goals, and his leadership skills and mentality too, both lacking in that Arsenal team." All right. This one is now questioning the leadership skills and, of course, the mental ability of Arsenal players without Bruno Fernandes. And moving on. Now, according to this particular person, he's an Arsenal fan. "I agree 100%, pal. If Bruno was our number 10, we would have this league wrapped up already. Wow. Bruno creates multiple chances a game from all different areas of the pitch. things don't have to open up like they do for Odegaard. Bruno makes things happen. I don't think Odegaard is average. I think he's very, very good, but Bruno would have chances put on the plate for players in our team, all right? And this person wrote, Bruno would have won us 2 titles and Gyökeres would have been close to Haaland out there, but it's so sad we have to deal with the Norwegian master of 360 turning. And that was savage. Like that was actually savage. And according to this person, an Arsenal fan, I respectfully disagree. Bruno plays a true 10. Odegaard drops so deep and hardly occupies the space behind the striker. Because of that system, Arsenal lacks creativity in the middle, not Odegaard's fault. Keeping higher up the pitch, free room that space behind the striker, and I guarantee Odegaard's numbers drastically increase. Of course, this person feels that Odegaard is affected by the system. And let's just take 2 more. Bruno Fernandes is simply levels above. Elite output, elite mentality, and he delivers seasons after seasons, regardless of the chaos around him. Goals, assists, clutch moments, he brings all 3. Odegaard is good within a system. Bruno is a system for real. And the last one right there, Adebanjo Joshua. That is why Bruno has won multiple leagues for Man United since his arrival. I think this is sarcastic, if you ask me, because trying to say Bruno Fernandes is that good, he should also do the same thing for Manchester United. And I believe many people are having this particular thought, and based on the reaction, you could see that people are divided with this. If we are to tell ourselves the truth, a team is made up of collectives, but sometimes a player could actually propel, the achievement of a particular team. Is just like what Lionel Messi did for Barcelona, in as much it is not just about him, what Cristiano Ronaldo did for Real Madrid, or what he even did for Manchester United, what he did for Juventus and all of that. We have players who can define success in teams. Eden Hazard did the same thing for Chelsea, and of course, Didier Drogba, Frank Lampard. These are players that actually contributed enormously to make sure that Chelsea were also successful during their time at the club. And the same thing with Arsenal. I don't know, maybe if you bring the output of Bruno Fernandes and put it into this Arsenal team, maybe they could actually go on to win 1 or 2 titles right there. But ask yourself, why is it that Bruno Fernandes, with the same output at Manchester United, he is not doing the same thing? He's not winning those same titles. Erling Haaland at Manchester City, we saw what he brought to the team. In as much, without him, maybe Pep Guardiola would have still found a way to get things going. But you can't take away the fact that Erling Haaland brought something massive to Manchester City, and that was why they were able to go on to win loads of titles. Not like they were not winning before he came. But I don't know where you stand in this particular argument. Bruno Fernandes at Arsenal, in the last couple of seasons, they would have won at least 1 Premier League title. Do you agree with this, or do you disagree? Do well to drop your thoughts in the comment section, and do not forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel for some more videos like this.